Well, good morning, guys. Danny and Wanda back from Pecan Grove here. We just came out this morning. Today's supposed to be really hot. Yesterday morning, before I baled hay, I hooked all my plows up on my cub, and I came out here. Wanda and I first came through with a hoe and cleaned the tops of all the rows off. That's a lot of rows, let me tell you something. 300 feet long, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 7 rows.
I think Wanda got 2 of them.
Wanda got
or
2
two
of
and
them.
a half. 1.5.
1.5. I did all the rest of them. But I went and hooked up the cultivators on the old cub farm all, and I came in, re-fertilized. You can still see some of the fertilizer here. It didn't get covered up right there. I fertilized the heck out of it. As a matter of fact, you can see at the end of the rows here where it kept pouring out of the fertilizer hopper. I used 8-24-24. I tried to stay away from a lot of nitrogen and just use potassium and phosphorus because that's what root crops need. They don't need a lot of nitrogen. And I went ahead and bedded these rows up. They're done. I may come back later with a sweep and clean the middles out, you know, if they start getting grassy in the middles or something, but they are beautiful. I mean, this is probably one of the prettiest patches we've ever grown. I'd like to say thank you to Mr. George up at George's Plant Farm, Tater Man. You can find him on taterman.com if you would want to check him out. That's where we got these draws from. Bunching Puerto Ricans right here.
Yeah, because they're a little yellow looking. They're not as green as the others.
This is the bunching Puerto Ricans. I put mine in the middle down here.
Yours is way down yonder.
Yeah, we got purple passion on the other end, Puerto Rican bunching here, Nancy Hall there.
Yours is actually
Beauregards.
that
Mine
right.
is on the 2 ends of the first rows up yonder.
Yeah.
I got 63 on one and 20 something on the other one. And then I went in the middle of these 2 varieties and put mine in the middle.
Yeah.
And still got sweet potato slips running out my ears. But nevertheless, that's a look at the sweet potatoes. They're doing fantastic. Now let's check out the okra and the corn. Now this is the white okra here. I believe the variety is going to be white velvet because last year what we grew turned out to look just like white velvet. We got it from a subscriber. Don't remember which one. We got 2 different white okras from 2 different subscribers. I don't remember which was which. But we have fallen in love with this. I came down through here with a hoe and hoed the top off of this. And it's doing pretty good right now. I would love to be able to get in here and get my farm all in here and plow the edges of it and put some fertilizer to it, but I can't quite do it just yet. You know, the corn got blew over on it. Now it has stood back up pretty good, and I'm still going through, and every now and then we'll have a rogue seed that got planted too deep or just didn't germinate on time or what. That has actually come up late, and I save this stuff out to give to the rabbits and stuff. And there's no sense in it being in there because it's not going to do anything. Here is another one right here that has blowed over. That's all I do, guys. In the mornings I come out here, I walk through my cornfields, and I take this kind of stuff out of here because there's no sense in leaving it.
It makes great animal food.
It makes great animal food. Like here at the end of this one, we got a little one here, a little one here, another little one there. The rabbits love this kind of stuff. It's
and that's 1 day's of food for them.
Oh yeah, that's feeding my rabbits for a whole day. I got 3 Tamuk rabbits. I got 2 giant females and a big old male. I buy about 50 pounds of feed every, I don't know, what is it, 3 months maybe?
Probably.
They eat out of the garden, you know. They just eat green stuff, and they literally love it. Cuts down on the feed bill. Everybody says it's so expensive to feed animals. That's not necessarily true. Mr. Chris was telling me yesterday when he was helping me with the hay. He has a pasture, a field, or whatever you want to call it. He just went and bought. Now this is a thought for you guys. Chris can come up with some pretty good ideas sometimes. Chris went and spent $25 or $30, something like that, on 2 or 3 pounds of a G90 sweet corn or something like that. And he took it out and he just disc it up a field, tilled it all up, went out there and just broadcast it everywhere and tilled it in. And it came up like hair on a dog's back. And what Chris does is he just picks a line down through it, and he goes down through there and he pulls up this right here when it gets to be about this tall. He pulls it up, and Chris is raising pigs for me and for him for this winter for us to butcher. That's what he's feeding the pigs. He said, this going and buying bags of feed for $15 to $30 a bag is for the dogs, you know? He said, I spent 30 bucks on, or 30 or 40 bucks on seeds. He says, and this stuff right here, the pigs love it. They're getting butterball fat. He said, I'll buy the big old things of corn. I forget what you call them, the big square white hopper things of corn you buy. He'll buy one of them, and from now till butchering time this fall, that's all the feed he needs with corn to go with this right here. He said, them pigs are growing so fast and so butterball fat, and guys, they're just eating good old homegrown food is all they're mainly eating. And his feed bill is very, very minimal. He's not trying to get corn off of this, okay? When he cleans out a section down through the field in there, he goes and takes more corn, no matter what time of the summer it is. He just goes and takes more corn, sweet corn, and he just broadcasts it, tills it in, and while he's harvesting the next run of corn, this corn comes up, and by the time he gets to the third run of corn, this is already big enough to start again, and he's doing it in successions down through there to keep his pigs fed. I'm loving it. You know, I was a little bit panicky to start with the Jimmy Red and the Stoil Evergreen pollinating at the same time. But you know, after talking to several different people, including Joey from JT West's YouTube channel, I might have stumbled on something if I get this to actually work. Because if my sweet corn actually has, according to Joey, if it has little red streaks in it, then that means that the Jimmy Red did actually cross-pollinate with it a little bit. And guys, how great would it be to have Jimmy Red with some sweet taste to it from the sweet corn, you know? So maybe I've got a land race here. I don't know just yet, but we are going to, at first I wasn't going to save seeds, but we got to thinking about it. I think I'm going to save seeds from both of them just to see what I get the next year. Because if I get what I'm doing the research on and trying to figure out and find out, I might come up with something that that'd be a pretty good variety to have. Now the sweet corn, wouldn't it be awesome to have a big old ear of sweet corn like the Jimmy Red instead of the little short ears like you normally get? That would be awesome, you know. So the Jimmy Red is, it did not get as big as the Danny corn did before it tousled.
But it is putting on brace roots.
But it's putting the brace roots on just this week. You can see right here, it's starting to put a few brace roots on the bottom right here. It is going to put some on. It's not very tall. It's only like 6 or 7 feet right here tall. The Danny corn is like 12 to 16 feet tall up here. The stalks on this is not near the diameter as mine that I created, which means that once you get an ear on this, if you get a windstorm, and we're in hurricane zone down here, it could very well blow over, you know, especially with the weight of the ears on it. So I was a little concerned about that, and the fact that I did plant it a little bit thicker than I probably should have. And I'm not caring if the ears are big old ears. I just wanted to get some to grind for flour this year to see how it does, and to just get it acclimated. I'd like to have some Jimmy Red acclimated to my place here, because I do like different varieties of corn. I don't want to just plant Danny corn year after year after year after year. I like to kind of change up, because we've got enough Danny corn in the freezer to last for a long time. And we were able to bless a lot of people with it. So this year, we're going to try to, if the Lord's willing, we're going to try to harvest up some Jimmy Red, and we're going to grind it up into some corn flour and cornmeal to have to go with our Danny corn grits and flour. Well, we're over here to the iced potatoes now. I came out here, and this section right through here was a little bit more right down yonder, really died out. This heat's doing a number on them. This is almost 100-degree temperature every day now. It's really, these taters can't handle that. And I looked, and fire ants had done started building beds up around the taters. And what they'll do is they'll bore, you take a potato like this, they'll just start boring little tiny holes all in it for the moisture that's in it. And I told Wanda, I said, we got to come get these things out of here. Here's one right here. Let me show you a prime example. See that right there? That's for a fire ant. Started boring in. And what will happen is that thing will start deteriorating right there. And it will go bad on you. That's why when you go to store them, you got to look for these kind of taters, and you kind of lay them over into a tray. That's the first ones you want to use right there. Now, I was going to show you right here. The ground is so soft. I mean, I stick a shovel deep in the ground. This year, I don't know what happened this year. I don't know if it was the freeze or the fact that I flat broke this field last fall. The soil this year is so soft down that deep. I mean, it's amazing.
And no more plants than you got. You've got a 5-gallon bucket already.
Yeah, and look, I want you to look. This is what, when I pull the taters up out of the ground and shake them off.
Good sized potatoes.
Yeah, look at the size of them.
That's what you get, really bigger than what you get in store, basically.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Don't ever wash the dirt off of them, guys. Leave it on there. Leave it on. Don't wash your taters before you store them.
Yeah, do not wash them.
Look at that. No ant bites.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that pretty? And I always turn it over to make sure I didn't miss one. And see there? You got to be careful, because out to the side there was another one.
Wow. That's what,
that.
5 off that one?
Yeah. Isn't that?
Big potatoes.
Yeah, these aren't no little old bitty taters.
That's 2 plants there. And they just kind of grew together.
Yeah, they clump up like that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
We've been eating potatoes for the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, we just dug some right on the ends of the road. Oh, they come out of the high tunnel, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the ones in the high tunnel, we've been eating
We
those.
dug off the high tunnel, yeah. Because the high tunnel gets a lot hotter than it does out here in the field. And, yeah. See, I mean, in the deep south, let me say this. Those who are in a climate where you can afford to do this, if you can let the plants go till they die completely down and leave them there for another week or 2, the skins will get a lot tougher around the potato and they will store better. But in the deep south, we can't do that because of fire ants. If we leave them like that, the fire ants would come in here and just wipe them out. I mean, you'd get nothing, literally. I mean, you'd get nothing. Look at that.
That's some really nice sized potatoes. And uniform.
Yeah, they're all pretty uniform. Look at that. Man, ain't that pretty? Big old potatoes. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty good. And that may not be all of them that was in there. I don't know. Nope. There's another one right there. Another one there. I always kind of like to check. Now I have an attachment to put on the back of the tractor.
And you have a tater fork.
I got a tater fork. I was just out here this morning doing my morning walkthrough, and I saw this, and I said, you know what? I need to just jump in here and knock this out right quick.
We're not digging all of them. He's just getting
not.
A few.
We're just getting a bucket full here. We're going to take these up, put them in storage. Look at this one.
Oh.
Most of them seem to be between 3 and 5 potatoes.
Yeah.
There's always going to be one little. There's a bunch of other ones there, but look at that. That's just beautiful. I don't care. And guys, we got 2 rows here. One 300-foot row and 150-foot row. And I done got 5 gallons off of, what, 16, 18 feet right here?
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's pretty good, because the potatoes are all uniform. Now these were fertilized with 8-24-24 because they are a root crop. Oh, here's more of the This is what you're looking for. See that right there? Here's one here, here, and here. This potato will have to be set out to the side and eat first, because that will start going bad where the fire ants got to it. That's why you got to be so vigilant. Now these were planted on the waning of the moon. Everybody says, oh, it don't make no difference. Well, guys, I beg to differ with you. Look at this one.
Root crops, waning of the moon.
Root crops are always on the waning of the moon.
After a full moon.
After the full moon, correct. That's what we did this year. Get off there, spider. This one here, we got our 5 potatoes off it. And look how big some of them are. Big as a big old softball, you know. Whew. That's a heavy bucket of taters right there, Mom. These are the cocozelles. A lot of people wonder what a cocozelle is. These are from Italy. As far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, that is the best squash out there to make, one, to make spaghetti noodles with these. We have a machine with an attachment you can run these things through, and it makes them like spaghetti, because I can't eat wheat spaghetti or anything like that. And corn spaghetti is it's almost non-existent where we're at here. And when you do get it, you don't know if it's genetically modified. You don't know. So we grow our own big cocozelles, save our own seeds, and we make our own spaghetti with it. Now the yellow squash, we have been picking these for what, a good week and a half.
You had some last night.
I had them last night. I sure did. Fried.
I fried him some last night.
Yeah, and before that I had them stewed down with good old onions and stuff like that.
Bacon grease and onions.
Bacon grease and onions and stuff. And guys, I don't care what anybody says. This right here, all that, this is living the homesteading lifestyle. You know what I mean? This is what it's all about. Not running to the grocery store, buying everything you need, and then claiming you're a true homesteader. You know, this is where it's at. Is it work? Yeah.
Yesterday was a lot of work.
Yesterday was 80 bales of hay.
Oh, after doing all
after doing all this, we did this in the morning, came back and baled 80 bales yesterday afternoon, and I still got to go bale another
10,
probably 10 this morning. Once the dew dries off, I got to go bale another 10. So we will probably have baled about 90 bales off of our property. This is the first cutting. Mini bales, and with the ibex mini baler. And then I won't get to do it this weekend, but probably the first of next week I'm gonna go buy all the fertilizer I need and lime, and we're gonna come in, because my soil test said I needed 3 tons of lime per acre in order to bring it back up to the right pH for hay. And I actually need 500 pounds per acre of 8-24-24. So when you got a place that's been laying for 30-something years and it's growed up in timber, and you have it come out and track hose and dozers and clean up everything, the timber has sucked the ground out of everything that's here. That's like this garden here. When we cleared it up, y'all watched the videos in the beginning, the track hose was taking the pine trees and all out of here. I came in here, the soil sample here required for this acre right here to have 3 tons of lime put on this, to be dispersed out 1.5 ton the first year and 1.5 ton the second year. Well, I didn't get the 1.5 ton the first year. I only got about 1,000 pounds of lime the first year. The second year I put about 600 or 800. I'm just gradually adding it to it. But you see the results? I mean, you see the results from actually adding what you need to the soil.
So Miss Wanda's got to go can beans. The yellow wax beans are doing amazing.
We picked them 4 times. We've picked the Cherokee yellow wax beans out of containers 4 times. We have learned we do need 50 containers to get what we normally would get out of the garden out here. And they're so much easier to do. There's no weeding. There's just,
After today, I'll have 20 quarts, which would be the equivalent of 40 pints. I'm at 20.
You're at 20. Okay, so we're a third of the way there.
Yeah. And the beans won't last to get me there.
No, because the heat's done started coming in. And now they are blooming again, which means we'll get another picking. Now, well, over at Deep South, we picked them 11 times one year. But we did have a very nice spring. And we did get them in early that year. This year we got a late start because the cold just kept hanging on. And then we went from cold, frost, freezing to hot. And green beans are a cold weather crop. They're not a hot weather crop. So, guys, I got a lot more to do today. Got to get out of here, but I thought I'd just let y'all show you what's going on here at Pecan Grove. We are about to take these up and go get them spread out and go through them so that oh, we got onions. We're putting our onions up too.
Yeah, I gotta.
We gotta get them in some bags and get them ready to hang, and then Miss Wanda will be in the heat of the day from this point forward. She's gonna pretty much be canning, cooking, and canning, and canning.
I ain't got a lot to can. I just got a lot to process.
Now, we've been picking a lot of the big old giant blackberries. The Freedom blackberries, we've been picking a lot of them.
Blueberries coming in.
Oh, the blueberries have started coming in. That is correct.
We're getting a few strawberries.
Yep. It's about to happen.
The stool evergreen.
Look at it. It is tossling good. Silking out real good. That's pretty awesome.
Here are the bees.
Yo, the bees are everywhere. Honeybees all over the place. Yay, we're actually getting a few male blooms. Anytime you see a bloom sticking up above the top of the plant, that's usually your males. Because they stick up higher, they don't have a fruit on them to lay down on the ground like that. You get these ones that's down, you know, like low like this up under the leaves. This is always your females down here. See how you got your little females in there? Well, guys, the squash, once those bottom leaves kind of died off, the squash are looking pretty now. We did remember right here on this end, when we was in the store, we bought 3 zucchini plants because we didn't know if we'd get any zucchini to come up. We got one there, one here, and every one of them has a zucchini on them. So we've been picking quite a bit of yellow squash off of these few plants right here. Now, let me tell you guys something. I came back in between all the squash that did not come up, and I replanted. I went to my local feed store with Mr. Joe up here at Old South Feed. He carries seeds from Wax Seed Company. And I went in and bought 2 packs of squash seeds from him, some yellow crookneck and yellow straight neck. I told him, I said, well, I hope these dadgum jokers come up because none of these we've been ordering has been coming up. He told me, he said, well, mine will come up. I said, well, time will tell, you know. So, guys, I came in here and I planted these things a couple of days ago, and look at here already. Look right here. The ones I got from him, from Wax Seed Company, almost all of them are coming up down through here. So, you know what? Instead of buying my seeds online like I've done in the past for something, I think I'm just going to go to my local feed store right here. It seems like I can't argue with that result.
Well, let's see if we get something off of it. Yeah, that's the other deal.
The other deal is if they make something.
Now, our cocozelles, what we saved.
Look at them down yonder.
Let me see if I can get it. They are beautiful.
They are just beautiful, I'm talking about. I mean,
save seed works the best.
Yes.
As long as you don't cross-pollinate your...
Yeah, now you can't have the yellow crookneck, the yellow straight neck, the zucchinis. You can't plant all... I can't save no seeds off any of these.
We're not going to.
I'm not going to, because I bought enough of the wax seed from him. I've got next year's seed already bought.
And we have plenty of zucchini.
And the cocozelles, we got plenty of seeds from them saved up. So don't think that you can just save your squash seeds if you've got all these different varieties in here, because you can't do it. I mean, you can, but only Lord knows what you're going to get in return, you know. So if you want to if you just want a yellow crookneck and that's what you like, that's the only thing you need to plant if you want to save seed from it. Or I can't save from my Cherokee Tans up there this year because they've got all these other squashes in here that could have cross-pollinated them, and they would not be a true Cherokee Tan after that. So, and we didn't really intend to have them, to be honest with you. They just came up in the high tunnel. So, and I moved them up here to the garden because I knew they'd take the high tunnel over. So, but now, does it mean that they won't taste good? I don't know, because I don't know what they're cross-pollinated with, you know?
We don't know what they might have been cross-pollinated a year or two because they came up in that dirt.
Yeah, they came up in the soil out of the high tunnel, which was in the compost pile. I mean, we don't know, you know, so I would never sell a seed for anything like that I'm not 100%
We won't save anything
sure
like
on.
that, yeah.
We don't save seed from none of this stuff. That's why we want y'all to subscribe to Pecan Grove, is because y'all can come along on this journey with us and watch us get out here and work our fool self to death to provide what we eat all year long. Thank you guys from Pecan Grove.